going on, guys? Welcome back to this YouTube channel. Today in this video I'm going to show you how to create this simple yet awesome looking navigation bar. This video is going to be for absolute beginners, so if you are a beginner who wants to know how to create navigation bars, a simple navigation bar in HTML, CSS and JavaScript, then this video is definitely for you. So yeah, without wasting any more time, let's get right into this video. To get started, fire up your favorite code editor. Mine is Visual Studio Code. And after that, you can see I have created 3 files here. The first one is style.css, the index.html, and I also have this background.jpg. This is just a random picture that I took from Google. You can go ahead and grab yours as well. This really doesn't matter, just a placeholder image. The main focus of us will be on the navigation bar. So let's just close this. And if I go to the index.html, you can see I have this boilerplate code. This is nothing. If you have the emit extension on your VS Code, you can simply press exclamation mark, then tab, and this thing will pop up. And you can also see I have linked the style sheet here. So everything is linked up. So we are ready to go. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a nav tag. It's not necessary. You can use div, you can use section, you can use whatever you like. But for the semantics, I prefer nav. So yeah, let's use now. And within this now, I'm going to create an unordered list just like this. And within this unordered list, we are going to have some list items. And for every list item, I'm going to create an anchor tag. Let's put the href to hash because we don't want it to link to other pages. And let's type in some title. Let's say home. And let's just copy this a few more times. Let's say products. Let's say docs. Really doesn't matter. Let's say about us, just to have something for us to work with. So now if we open this up in the preview, you can see we have this ugly looking navigation bar. It simply is an unordered list with some list items and some links. And yeah, you can see it doesn't look pretty, but let's just go ahead and make this pretty. So I'm going to open up the style.css. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to get rid of this padding and this margin that browser automatically applies. So I'm just going to say padding 0, margin 0. We want to have a background image here. I'm simply going to go to the body tag and give it a height first. So let's say height. Actually, let's go with the minimum height. So minimum height, let's say 100 ph. I'm going to set the background image for my web page. I'm simply targeting the body tag. And in CSS, if we want to add a background image to any element, what we can do is we can use this background image property, and it takes URL. And URL is simply going to be /background.jpg. You can see the background image is loaded up. It's not loaded up properly, but it is there. So if I then say background position and position it to center, now we can see the image is looking better, but not perfect. So we can add another property, which is background size, and we want it to be cover. And now you can see it's loaded up perfectly. This is what we wanted. And also I don't want the background to repeat, so I'm just going to say no repeat. Background repeat, no repeat. Save the file. You can see this is what we have. So far so good. So we have styled up our body tag. We have gotten rid of all the default styles. Now let's style our nav bar. So the first thing we will do here is we will target the nav, and I'm going to give it a width of 100%, and I want the height be around 60 pixels. Okay, and background color equals to white. You can see here is our nav. So yeah, it has a background of white. And now what we need to do is we need to justify all these links and align them horizontally like this. Right now they are aligned vertically. We need to align them horizontally. So to do that, what we can do is we can simply target the nav UL. And the first thing I want to do here is I want to say list style none, because this will get rid of the bullet points. And I also want it to display as flex. So when I add this display flex property to the UL element, all the elements inside have aligned themselves horizontally, you can see. Now, if I don't want this behavior, I want them to align vertically, I can simply say flex direction column, and we are back to where we started. But we want them to align themselves horizontally, so display flex is just fine. And then I want them to justify themselves to the right side of this navbar. And we can do that by adding justify content flex end. Now you can see everything is aligned towards the right side. I think 60 pixels is too much, so let's just keep it to 50 pixels. Okay, just like this. This is looking nice, but I think we can also use a box shadow on the nav. So if you see, this thing doesn't look pretty. We want it to be kind of look like floating on top of that background image. So I'm just going to say box shadow 3 pixels, 3 pixels, maybe 4 pixels. Yeah, you can see how it looks. And then RGBA 0.1. And if I change this, you can see this is the shadow that we are dropping from our nav. But I don't want that much of a shadow. I just want 0.1. You can see now we get a nice shadow right underneath our nav. If you are wondering about this RGBA, 000 means black, and this is the opacity part. If we increase this to all the way up to 1, you can see it's pitch black, but we don't want that. We want it to have a lesser value, so that's why I'm keeping it as 0.1. Now we have everything here. Next thing, we want this to align itself in center, right? We can now tag ULLI and let's say height 50 pixels, line height 50 pixels, and we want the padding from the top, we want 0, from the right and left we want 20 pixels. So you can see we now have some spacing. Let's just keep it to 10 pixels. Then we want to make the text of these links to be black, and we want to get rid of this underlined. So I can say LIA. So we are now directly targeting the anchor tag, and I'm going to say color black, just like this. This looks pretty now. And I can say text decoration none. The underlines are gone. This looks good, but the font, I want to change the font. So let's go ahead in the body and let's say font and font family, actually font family, and let's choose impact. Oh, that's too much. Let's have something else. I think Arial, Helvetica, Sans Serif, that is fine for now. You can go ahead and choose any font that you like. Just provide the font family and you'll be good to go. For now, for this tutorial, I think this is fine. This looks good, but what I want is whenever we hover over these elements, we want its background color to be changed. So we can say LIA, and what do we want? Background color, Alicia blue. I think that's gonna work. You can choose whatever color you want. Now when I hover over it, you can see the color changes. So every time we hover over a list item, the color is changing. That looks pretty cool. We can copy this list item and we can type in the name and we can add the logo here. For now, let's just add a link as well for this. The binary bits. So this is the logo, but we want this to be aligned all the way up here. So we can say ULLI first child. What we want here is margin right to be auto. So you can see our logo is now perfectly aligned towards the left. So yeah, now everything looks perfect. If I open this up in browser, you can see this is our navigation menu. Of course, you can play around with the styles. You can make this bigger, or you can change the colors, fonts, whatever you like. But this is what will get you started.